It's like carrying a 10-15 kg weight on yourself. It's like it just weighs you down mentally, physically. It's exhausting.
So, Shalini, did you watch the Brian Johnson Don't Die documentary?
I was supposed to meet him for an interview, but
Welcome to Tell Me More with MONISHA MAHTANI, the podcast where we explore the story between the question and the transformation. I'm MONISHA, a nutritionist with over 2 decades experience, a wellness strategist, and deeply curious about the inner lives behind the outer success. In each episode, I speak with individuals who've navigated life's challenges with grace and emerged with wisdom to share. This episode is sponsored by Skin Nutritional, natural skin solutions to taking care of skin from the inside out. Today, I'm honored to begin with someone incredibly special to me, the elegant, disciplined, and endlessly inspiring Shalini Passi. You may know her as a global art patron, philanthropist, design visionary, and Netflix personality, but I've known her for years as a woman of courage, grace, and transformation. She's been a client and friend since 2018. So let's begin. Welcome, Shalini, to Tell Me More. Thank you for being here today with me. It's lovely to have you.
thank you, Manisha, for having me. It's lovely to see you. And this is often a time that we speak, and it's lovely to see you on this platform. I'm so excited for this interview podcast.
So today I wanted to talk to you about health and beauty because your wellness routine is meticulous, and I wanted to know the why behind that level of discipline. So I have a few questions for you.
First, let me answer why this discipline.
Yes.
It's because I can be very, very indisciplined and I can be totally out of control. So it is better for me to be in absolute, like have a regiment and have a schedule. Otherwise, because I have this artistic side to me, I can go completely bonkers. Like I can get addicted to different foods which are not healthy for me, nor exercise, do random things, and just spend my time. So that's why the regiment.
Okay, great. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of structure around your whole life,
Yes.
including your eating plan. So what actually
Yes.
grounds you in that routine?
I generally, when I'm doing a task, suppose I'm painting or doing photography, or even if I'm arranging flowers in the house, or if somebody's asked for help, I'm reading a book, or I'm learning something, I get very obsessed. I just lose sense of time, and I just keep doing that activity. So for my own sake and the sake of people around me, for their sanity, I've made this rule that I have this schedule which I follow.
Okay.
And I follow it to the T. And there are, like, I have a time when I work out, that's 4 to 6. It's always the same time. And there's a certain time when I wake up in the morning and I do certain tasks, like I do my meditation, I do my prayers, then I do my meetings. My day is very structured. It's like a school child's schedule. It's as tight. And evening, of course, I take classes or I visit the temple. And so it's very structured, and I like it like that, because otherwise, if there's no structure for me, I tend to lose, I just get lost, and I don't know where the time goes. So it's better. It helps me to be more productive.
And I think that's great because the body loves routine and it flourishes actually, and it does very well because it's sort of synced with its circadian rhythm, right? So
Yeah.
that's great to know that you're working with your circadian rhythm. So just wanted to ask you, you've been living with Thalassemia Minor now. I mean, that's an inherited condition. It's passed down through families. So how have you managed living with that? And how do you manage on a day-to-day basis? And what are the treatments, and what have you done to help yourself alleviate those symptoms that you have of fatigue and exhaustion?
Yeah, so basically, it's like when you have thalassemia minor, it's like you're always anemic. Like, if somebody's ill, their hemoglobin would drop to, say, a 9. So my hemoglobin on a healthy day is 9. And a normal person's, like somebody who's healthy, would be, say, 10, 10.5. So mine doesn't go over 9, which is like if there was somebody else, they would be in a perpetual state of exhaustion. But I sort of keep that thought out of my mind, and I say, I'm fine, and I'm perfect, and my blood is perfect, and I'm full of energy. And it's all, of course, there's been a lot of manifestation. Like a lot of people say that, I'm very delusional. So I'm been very delusional about this condition particularly, it's like carrying a 10-15 kg weight on yourself. It's like it just weighs you down mentally, physically. It's exhausting. If there's, there are times which I've, over the years since I was a child, I've just fainted in the heat, or I've fainted out of exhaustion, or I've fainted because a meal came in late, or just simply that it was just very hot. And then people said, oh, you don't got in the sun. It's because you don't want to get tanned. It's got nothing to do with me getting tanned, or it's got nothing to do with my skin. It's simply that when I'm in the sun, I'm not productive, and I feel very, very, I feel dizzy, and I don't want to create a scene, and I don't want to pass out. So I just don't go in the sun. And in India, it's kind of difficult, and it's also very hot. If you were to take me, say, in a snowy place, like when I went to the Himalayas in Kashmir, I was absolutely fine. And I was walking around, I was doing a little bit of skiing there, horse riding, and I was absolutely okay. But the heat drains me out. And over the years, of course, I have avoided alcohol completely, caffeine. As I mean, I don't drink tea or coffee on daily basis at all. It's just sometimes if I'm shooting, or if I'm in a new country and I'm trying to adjust to the timing, so then I'll have little green tea or like a sip of black coffee just to keep me awake. But that also I've now cut down completely. And of course, I'm very particular about the diet. I, take a lot of everything from green soups to green juices, moringa powder, spinach soup, and red meat. I tried to be I turned vegetarian for a couple of years, but that didn't really work well for me. And of course, regular exercising, sleeping on times. And I also watch my cousins and my aunts and my relatives and my family to see what sort of symptoms are they having and how can I prevent it. So I try to incorporate all that, all the learning that has been in the family. I am very carefully, I watch my family very carefully to see how things can be avoided.
And you also have to be careful about, your diet, because you can't actually have too much red meat because that has a lot of heme iron, right? So
Yeah, so I
when you,
don't have, it's just
yeah,
maybe once a week or something like that.
yes. But when you do have those lack of nutrients, then you do have to be having other good quality nutrient foods like zinc-rich foods. That's essential for bone health and
Yeah,
immunity. And you have to be having high levels of vitamin D because, again, your bones and joints can get
yeah.
affected.
So I do my blood works very regularly, on a very regular basis, in fact, and I monitor my all the nutrients and the vitamin D and the calcium and zinc levels, magnesium levels very, very regularly. And then, of course, from time to time when we are speaking, you would add, say, a yogurt somewhere or a supplement somewhere, or some sort of a food which will be helpful to build what is deficient and remove if there's any excess of it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it also alters from day to day in your activities, because especially when you're on shoots, you need a little bit more sort of care and a nutrient dense diet. So it does have to change according to what your activity is during the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So, what inspired you to transition to a raw food diet until 6 p.m.?
So I've always been a believer of Ayurveda and holistic practices and naturopathy, and I don't take medicines. I've not taken an antibiotic in like maybe 25, 27 years. And even when I'm very, very sick, I don't take I won't take something to bring the fever down, or I won't take a painkiller. So I don't take medicines at all, because I genuinely believe that, if you take a certain medicine, say for headache, then, your digestive system is affected. And so I've always believed with healing with food. I met, I have a Swamiji who's an Ayurvedic practitioner, and he recommended that, I try and eat. So he recommended certain food, especially for thalassemia, especially for the blood. And he said that certain foods, when eaten raw, have a very good effect on the blood. And I honestly felt much lighter. Obviously, raw foods are very difficult to digest.
Yes.
So I had to build it up slowly, slowly. First, I was taking raw food. just for breakfast, and then I made it till 12 o'clock, then 1 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, then I took it to 6 o'clock, because in Ayurveda, after sunset, you're not supposed to eat anything raw. I followed it almost, I think, for about 8 years, since 2018 till now recently when I visited Lanzerhof. I think I just felt so energized when I started doing this diet, and I would not feel sluggish in the day, especially after lunch. I used to feel very sluggish when I would eat my lunch, and then I would want to like take a nap, and I had so much work. But I still do meditate post lunch at times, but I don't feel sluggish. I feel very energized after a meal. Generally, people kind of feel, they want to take a nap after lunch, because when I'm consuming the raw food, I never felt that. I felt great. So, and then also like this whole thing of actually, consuming food which is almost like medicine. So each of the food has these properties. When consumed raw, it's so much more potent. So for
Absolutely.
me,
Yeah.
it was healing, and I really needed that. And that really helped me with lots of things. And I feel that it is something that everybody should, at least once in their life, even if they cannot follow it through, should at least try it once, because I think it has great effects.
That's great to hear. And how has my personal nutrition plan supported you in your daily life, whether it's with energy, skin, focus, or even overall well-being? Because we did a lot of testing as well. We did a nutritional
Yes,
genome.
we did a
Yeah.
allergy test of about 300 things that I could be allergic to, and then you based your diet on that as well. So there of course, the supplements are great, but I think even the diet that you've given is I'm not somebody who believes in eating less, and you know that. I eat quite a lot,
Yes.
and because I work out almost for 2 hours a day. I do 1 hour of dance and another hour of weights and this Pilates. So to keep up all that, and then of course you're also very well versed with the Indian system of Ayurveda. So your plan, you've integrated everything so beautifully, the Ayurvedic things, the Western supplements, and I think most people sort of don't really utilize what is available in our country. They just either take supplements or they just stick to the very traditional ways. So I think the combination of both, and your understanding of the vegetables and stuff and the supplements has really worked well with me.
Yes. So it's
I
that
mean,
combination.
it's the
Yeah.
combination, I think, which has really worked for me, because I think because there's so many things that take, we have so much pressure, and for things, work pressure, social pressure, as well as the things that we want to do, and we don't want to be we want to have good health. Health is something that we take for granted, but without having good health we cannot function. In fact, I remember at one point, maybe a couple of years ago, I called you and said, listen, why have you not suggested Ozempic to me? And I work out like a dog. I work out for an hour, 1 hour cardio, then 1 hour this thing. I don't have time, man. I could utilize that time to actually work. I mean, 2 hours off, I just take Ozempic. It's everyone's taking. This is like maybe 3, 4 years ago. I'd just come
Yeah.
back from London, and the whole buzz was that everybody is on Ozempic. And so I sent you I sent you, I think, a message,
You did.
and
Yes.
I sent you a message saying, why have you, like, why did you not tell me this? Like, why am I under a rock? Like, everyone seems to be taking this. And I thought that, like, I trusted you. And why did you not tell me about
Yes.
Ozempic?
So the
And
the
why
reason for
am
that.
I not taking it? Because I work out like a dog. And man,
Yeah.
I can save 2 hours a day. I can do so much more work. Like, I finish like at 12 at night, and I wake up early in the morning, and my work doesn't get over. And these 2 hours could be a game changer for me. And you told me that it's
Yeah.
not good at all. And you explained to me the repercussions of it and everything. And whatever you told me, so many of my friends asked me that if I think they should take it. And of course, I also read about it. And then I told them some of the things that you had told me, that, that it causes so many issues. And this is about 4, 5 years ago, when it had just come in the market. And, everybody was so excited about it. And people were taking small micro doses, or, going majorly into it, getting the injection imported from somewhere. And getting prescriptions written. And now I see that, and it's very sad to see it's really sad to see some of our friends suffer because honestly, it's you rather be healthy and have good fat because fat actually supports your skeletal structure and,
So, Shalini, I think there's a little bit of misconception around Zempic. I think it can be a game changer, but for those people who need it, and for
yes,
those
exactly. That's what you
individuals
told me.
who are
Yes.
obese, and it's a medication, so it's not
Yeah.
something a nutritionist or any sort of provider that is not trained should actually be giving it to you.
Yeah.
It's quite dangerous in the wrong hands. So there has to be a lot of testing behind it. There's lots of medications like that on the market, but they actually change people's lives where they need to be changed. So for
Yeah.
someone who is healthy like yourself, like you said, obviously you have a few challenges.
I'm quite good if I lose 2 kgs or if I'm 2 kgs up. I just get to wear different kind of clothes and I kind of enjoy that and I'm
Yes.
quite okay with that.
So I
And
think the problem,
workout for me is more about strength. Workout for me is more about releasing the energy. Workout for me is about more about strengthening my muscles and the bones and basically keeping myself entertained with the dancing and strengthening. It's not really something to do with weight loss.
yes.
Weight
And
loss
for
is like a
those,
byproduct.
yeah, exactly. And I think for those who are on these GLP-1 medications, it's a great time to actually start nutrition and forming those good habits of following a good regimented diet like yourself, having a structured eating plan so that once they come off the medication, they are better able to maintain their diet. So it is great for people who need it. If they're over a BMI of 25 and above, and if their doctor agrees and they've gone through medical screening, then that's great. But otherwise, I think for someone like yourself and anyone who just has a couple of kilos, they can manage that effectively through diet and lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, but
Just
I just
like you
sometimes feel
have.
that you must be so fed up of me every time I hear of a trend. I send it to you. Why are we not
Yeah,
doing this? Why are we not doing
yeah.
this? Then Manisha sends me this really long message
Message,
explaining
yeah.
to me that Monisha is saying that we can't do this. And I'm like this child, like, why are we not doing this? And why are we not doing this? And why didn't you tell me about this? So,
So as you know, I don't believe in fad diets. I believe
yeah.
that you should eat everything in moderation, all food groups, so carbohydrates, fats, proteins in the right quantities and proportions. So, having that balanced diet is very, very important to having whole grains because of the fiber content, a nutrients diet, high protein, having the essential fatty acids, good quality protein. So having a mixture, if you can, of animal protein, vegetable protein. So it's very important to have a balanced diet so that you get a variety of nutrients that actually have amazing long-term health benefits. So great for the gut because it helps to reduce pathogenic bacteria, proliferate good bacteria. So it's very important to have a balanced diet so that you don't get deficient long-term of any specific nutrient because glucose actually fuels the brain. So I think as long as you're cutting out refined carbohydrates, processed foods, having a balanced diet is very, very important. So, we've talked about intermittent fasting, and that's not really a fad, but I would say that that's a great way for people to also bring in some structure into their
But
life,
that's
right?
something I couldn't do. Like,
That's something you
I have
couldn't
never
do. Yeah.
tried intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Just the idea I do fast for religious reasons. I really like admire people who can do intermittent fasting, but I couldn't.
Yeah. So I think, you have to choose your own ideas, your own timing of intermittent
And
fasting and the way you
maybe
do it.
sometime, maybe when I have the strength to do it, I will.
Exactly. And I think even 12 hours is enough. It doesn't have to be excessive. It doesn't have to be stinate. It can even be something that's 12 hours just to give your body a break and autophagy, where you have the cells being regenerated and the old cells being removed from the body. So it just gives your digestive tract a rest. So that's really, really important as well. So, Shalini, did you watch the Brian Johnson Don't Die documentary? Because that was really
I
interesting.
I haven't seen the documentary, but I was supposed to meet him for an interview. He was very keen to do a podcast with me. Then everybody knows, then he left Bombay in a hurry because he
Okay.
found like the air was not so clean. So my podcast with Brian Johnson was then cancelled, or like he said, we'll try to connect at a later date in another country.
I would definitely encourage you to watch the documentary. And something that I found very interesting was he uses a neuromodulation device, which I use as well, actually. It's called NeuroSim, and it's non-invasive. It sends electrical signals to the brain via the vagus nerve. So it aims to biohack the parasympathetic nervous system, which is part of the autonomic nervous system, which encourages rest and digest, and for you to relax. So you get improved sleep, improved mental health, it reduces inflammation. And it also helps with symptoms related to long COVID, such as fatigue, brain fog, and improves overall well-being. It basically counteracts and reverses the effects of the sympathetic nervous system, which is activated during the fight or flight response, such as stressful situations, which you can also get through other relaxation techniques like meditation, yoga, spending time in nature. And it was fascinating for me because Dr. Oliver Zollman is the anti-aging scientist, behind the blueprint longevity, the level 1, the level 2, the level 3 program. And it's sort of what I do with my client. The levels get more sophisticated. It's very similar to the more nutritionist methods that I work with my clients.
Yeah, I do, sometimes I do hear few things he says, but I honestly feel that it's a lot of discipline to be where he is, and his primary profession is a biohacker. He is a biohacker. I am a little miniature version of him, maybe like a little biohacker, but I'm also an artist and I'm also so many other things. And I also want to live my life. I wouldn't leave a country because I found it, so I wish I get to meet him someday, and I wish that podcast happens. But till that day, that yes, I haven't seen the documentary, but I think I've read some of his articles and they're quite interesting. And he says a lot of things that are different. We hear, everybody has their own. Everybody has their own, take on things. In Lanzerhof, they said that don't have raw vegetables because it's very difficult for digestion.
And that's something I've been telling you for a while as well,
Yeah,
cooking your
so, but
vegetables.
for me, I think raw vegetables have just been a game changer, and I've done that for 8 years. But in the last couple of months, post the series came out, and I've been going through a lot of, there have been hundreds of interviews, there have been lots of shoots. I went to the Cannes Film Festival, there have been, God is Kind, lots of awards. So I think there was a lot of stress, post the series coming out, because of course there was a lot of work, there was a lot of excitement, but to be able to deliver there, you have to be present, I have to be in Bombay for the awards, or I have to be doing the interviews, multiple interviews, everything. So I think that sort of took a toll, and the body was no longer responding to the old. It was not responding to any of the supplements. It wasn't responding to the raw diet. So when I actually reached the Lanzerhof, they said, you cannot have any of this anymore, just for the time that you're here. But I said, but this is so healthy. This raw foods are so healthy. Everything that I'm doing is absolutely healthy by any standards. And it's not easy for people to have this. So he said, but you understand that you've been doing it for 8 years and now the body is not responding. It needs something new. It's like when we do a particular exercise and we do it for a couple of years, the body no longer responds to that. The muscles get used to it. So my body had gotten used to the raw food diet and it was no longer responding to that kind of, the food that was being consumed. They completely cleaned the system. They have a great way to detoxify. They have a beautiful clinic outside Munich, and there was a lot of learning. And of course, we get also very set in our ways that, raw food is healthy and this is healthy and green juice. And I felt just incredible. And I was not on a weight loss program. In fact, I was the only guest there who was given a big bread basket to eat. And I had other friends on the table and they used to get one little rice cracker, whereas I was given a whole bread basket and I was given flaxseed oil to drink. And I was being given big portions. So I'm like, because I told them I don't want to lose weight. I just want to be healthy. I want to be healthy and I want to be functional and I want my skin to look good. So first, for skin to look good, if you lose too much weight, you lose collagen. So with all testing in which they found that I was
Yeah.
allergic to almonds. And I I used to eat almonds all the time. Like I would eat almonds in the morning every day, and somehow, and then I used to also carry almonds with me when I was shooting, and I would have almonds when I was shooting. And they said you're allergic to pineapple now. So every time when I travel, I love pineapple, so I would eat pineapples. And how could I? And then they said I'm allergic to pineapple, and of course there were some other things. But what was surprising was they said you're allergic to almonds, and almonds was something that I was consuming, and that was causing the inflammation in the body. Because when I was traveling or coming back from Bombay post a flight, I used to carry almonds in my backpack, and I would eat like a box of almonds on the way back home. And so it was like I would eating almonds in the morning and at night. And so they did the testing. And the first day, of course, when I reached Lanzhou, I ran out of the clinic because I said, listen, I need raw food. I need raw food. You're not giving me raw food. You're giving me a bread basket. I said, I've not touched bread in like 100 years. And if I get addicted to bread, like what's going to happen? And I said, then, and they didn't allow me to have my Ayurvedic powders. So I was like, I rebelled and I ran away the first day. And they're like, and like, how am I going to go to bed at 9 o'clock? Like, they don't worry, you will fall asleep. I said, how will I fall asleep at 9? And then they had a 6 o'clock morning thing. I said, how am I going to wake up at 6 and go for a nature walk? But I did wake up and they did set my clock. So I think wellness, we also get very set in our ways.
Yes, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think, so the body also needs a change. It also needs a kick. So, and then I came back and I shared everything with you. And then we reworked out my diet
Yes,
again
absolutely. And that's when we cut
as
out a
per the
lot of
learnings from the clinic, because they did a million tests. They did a million blood tests, and they're so thorough. And then, of course, you implemented it in my diet. And in my, like, even like, when you told me that I don't need to work out 2 hours a day, but I didn't
yes.
listen. But when they told me that you don't need to work out 2 hours a day, you can just do 1.5 hours. And now
Mm.
I still, like, I keep that slot of 2 hours, but I've cut it down to 1 hour, 40 minutes. Sometimes in the middle, I make a phone call or an urgent meeting I take. But, and then I'm not doing that intensity of cardio. So my intensity is less. I'm doing more dance and less cardio.
And that's
So all
probably
that,
more enjoyable as well for you to
yeah,
be
that's more
dancing at that.
enjoyable as well. And I play all these funny songs and these
Yeah,
weird numbers, which I really love, because I also feel that, in music, all these songwriters, they're actually poets and they've written all these beautiful. So I love listening to that as well.
of course. It sounds amazing. And for me, it was very interesting to see their results because they had done so many tests. And I really
Yep.
liked the body clearance test that they did, which you said had really transformed how you felt because they were taking out the toxins that had accumulated in your
Yeah.
blood, so that your energy levels had changed after that.
Of course, changed. I felt like, I had started getting this brain fog because I had also, during the pandemic, I was in London and I had got Omicron. And after that, I felt that my lung capacity had decreased and my voice had sort of gone. And it also affected my thyroid. I think it affected my thyroid because that's when my thyroid got a little disbalanced. And I think after apparesis, I felt that, I felt this entire brain fog just lifted. I felt there were like these clunks of, metal stuff in my brain, which just got washed out. And so I felt
Mm.
really like not just like good, but I felt like I could run up a mountain. And that's exactly what a lot of people felt when they were there. There were other guests who were there and we had become friends. And a lot of them said this similar thing. And so I think it was wonderful to be there. And then you've helped me implement everything here because, you know me. We've had a great relationship. Like, literally everything I'm eating, everything I eat is sent to you on weekly basis. Like if a certain portion is less or more, it is sent to you. So
Yeah.
you really monitor it very, very closely.
And I think it is very important to monitor that, the bloods, all the changes that you're doing, because now, especially, you're very busy, you have all these shoots. So obviously your nutritional needs are changing as well.
I think what happened that during the shooting and post, during the interviews and back and forth from Bombay, I was also consuming a lot of food was prepared in the hotel and it was kept, or soups, or soups or juices, whatever, and it was kept in thermoses, and then I was consuming that in the vanity van. And I think that sort of created some sort of a bacteria causing a lot of bloating. So when I was in Cannes at the film festival, though everybody thought I looked great, I was extremely bloated and my face at times was swollen. And of course, I had a lot of bloating on, on my belly and especially upper belly. And it was all because of, food that had been kept and I was eating it, because raw food needs to be consumed right then and there, but I had no option, but I used to, carry the thermoses, or it used to come from the hotel while I was on set. And then I would, consume it. So there was a lapse that happened. And now I'm very particular. I mean, it was the first time for me. I didn't realize. First time me being outside my space and consuming food. So
Of course. And Cannes is a place where you want to look extremely glamorous and beautiful. So not being well isn't the most ideal situation.
yeah, it turned out well, so I'm happy. Even if I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling my 100%, I wasn't like, I felt there were times my face was very looking bloated, and I was almost 3 kgs up my regular weight. And but it was fine. It came out great, and I'm happy. And there's so many people who have worked on this thing from, there was a whole stylist team, there were style helpers, makeup, hair team, photography team, PR. There's so much that goes on. And I think everyone was very happy. And, I think people really appreciated the looks, people appreciated there were a lot of events which we were doing. So I think the whole thing turned out well, and I'm grateful. And looking good is good, but like
Of
having good
course.
results and being effective is great. So for
And
me, it was fruit.
feeling
Yeah.
great at the same time. So what does beauty mean to you then? And has that definition changed over time for you personally?
I think over the years, of course, beauty is so many things. It's For me, beauty is serenity. Beauty is like my mother. For me, my mother is the most beautiful person. Beauty is for me a swan, a goddess, a lotus, and maybe a snow mountain. And beauty for me is something which is so gentle and like an angel, purity. And beauty is also like a mother's love. And I think it's just so different. Beauty is something like, it's not just what you see, it's what's inside, which I know it's a very cliche thing to say. We
Yeah.
all say that. But, what you are inside will eventually reflect on your face. So when we used to be, when I was a kid in art school, we had to paint a wicked witch. So we used to
Mm.
get these characters to paint. So you could pick up a comic book, or they would give us some characters or books where we could pick out stuff or make from our imagination. So we were given the choice whether you want to pick from a book or want to create. So we were told, okay, now make a fairy, like make a fairy, or make a beautiful fairy. So when you made the fairy, her face was calm, her eyes was contented. There was a slight smile, not like a laugh, but like a slight smile. There was a peace and there was symmetry in the body.
Okay.
But when you created a wicked witch, her nose was sharp, her the whole face was wicked because her thoughts created that face for her. The evilness came on the face. Right. As a kid, that went into my head that if you are a bad person, this is what you're gonna look like. You're gonna be bent with a stick and your face is gonna look like that. And just the idea of looking like that said, I want to be a good person for the rest of my life.
Of
Whether it was selfish, childish, I don't know. Just that particular incident, I said, you know what? Like, if you're a good person, you're a fairy godmother, this is what you look like. And if you're a wicked witch, this is what you look like. As a child, I said, listen, I never want to do anything bad or wicked in my life. I never want to look like that. So the
Mm.
idea of a beauty, of course, is is appearance, because your thoughts become your reality. You look like, if you're, inside you're conniving, it will come out on your face.
Do you believe in spiritual practices that can heal your body and
Of
change
course,
how you feel?
I do. I do meditation, and I've been doing the chakra meditation for a couple of years. Last 2 years I'd stopped, and then again I started this year, because sometimes there's a break and then you just fall out of practice. Then this
Yeah.
year again I started, and there was a tremendous difference in the energies that were, my energies were getting more balanced. And with the chakra meditation, you can actually heal all the chakras, and you can visualize each chakra, and if you can even tell which chakra is not functioning properly. So I've gone back to that practice again. In fact, I'm doing it twice a day, and I think that really, it helps you not just center, but it also helps your body, the energies that go through your body. It's just so much better. So definitely, even that holistic healing meditation,
Yeah.
yeah.
So would you say that's a wellness practice that is truly sacred to you just now? Like, or is that like forever, or is it quite seasonal then? And which
So,
practices?
like I mentioned that, I used to do the chakra meditation. I started doing it in 2018. I did it for many years, and then last 2 years, when we started shooting the series, somehow I fell out of not doing it, and I just started doing a regular manifestation and gratitude meditations, and more like, I also do Ho'oponopono, which is like forgiveness. So anyone who's hurt you, you give
Yes.
forgiveness to them. That really helps you to, ease the pain and send out positive vibes to the person who has wronged you.
I've been doing that
Chakra is
as well,
something
actually, and it
really, and
works
it's really
wonderfully.
powerful.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
I think I mean, I've been
Did I
doing
share
that.
that with you, or you've
I
been doing
think
it
you
only?
had shared it with me a couple of
Yeah.
years ago, and
Yes.
since then, a few others have also shared it with me. So I thought,
Yeah.
let me just start
Yeah.
implementing this as well,
So I
and I
think
love it actually.
Ho'oponopono works really well, because you have to start with the person who hurt you the most. And
Yes.
you'll
Yeah.
see that, it's basically like, you will see the effect. Like, it's not that the person will not be punished for their task, but you no longer will have attachment to the results. And you will be free of the pain. So when you do Ho'oponopono, you start with the person who hurt you the most. And there's so many things that we do unintentionally. We hurt people unintentionally, without knowing, sometimes even knowing, and so all that. And sometimes it's also karmic. So coming back to the chakra meditation now, since May, since that's around the time I went to Cannes, I started doing it very, very regularly. And I mean, the energy, everything just moving, things move, things flow. I'm feeling great. And I think chakra is something which is very, very easy to do. It's very rooted in our tradition, and there's so many meditation videos which are online and can be done very, very easily.
And is that how you would handle, like, when you're going through a disruptive phase, even when you're traveling and you have illness, or perhaps you're feeling down emotionally, when there's disruption in your life, are those the practices that you would do?
So honestly, whenever there's something which if there's something which is really disturbing for me and I can't do anything about it, I just go and start another project. So just take my energy and start something new. So for me, it's like it's all energy, right? Good, bad. I just take it, and I have a lot of projects which are going on. Sometimes they don't really materialize, but for that moment, rather than me being reactive and being disruptive about things, or I just go, I give my energy to a certain project, and I hope that it's fruitful, it works out, and that's what I do. Like, it's kind of escapist, but it's like, it's also something which I feel that I rather be constructive, and I create something good out of the energy, or like something good out of a bad situation, than actually cry about it. Like when I was in Cannes, we were going to the India Pavilion for a talk. So I was supposed to speak at the India Pavilion, and we were stuck in a jam. So I said, listen, I'm very restless. I said, listen, how far is it? So he said, 10 minutes walk. So I said, okay, I'm going to walk it. So, but you're wearing a sari. So I said, even better. I said, I'm very used to walking in a sari. And I always keep my kids in the car. So of course I was wearing high heels, so I removed my high heels, I wore the kids, and I just started walking. It starts raining.
Okay.
So it starts raining, and then my team is there, and then like, what do we do? So then I said, listen, then we all took shelter because we didn't want the thing, my sari, to get wet. And then of course, before that, we had shot a video on a carousel. I had eaten ice cream. So we just made the most of it, whereas everybody else was sitting in their cars and complaining about the traffic, whereas I had like the best time, and my team had the best time. We had a blast. So it's like that. It's like, what I it's like, don't want to sit in the car and like keep fuming that, oh, what's going on.
Turning a bad situation into a great situation,
Yeah,
basically.
and this is a
It
very
works
small
for you.
example. This is a fun
Yeah.
example. This happens to most of us. But the irony of it was, when I get down, then my team said, okay, let's shoot on the way. I said, yeah, let's make. So we see a carousel. We go into the carousel. We shoot there. Then we walk a little bit further. Then I see an ice cream stand. I take an ice cream and start eating. Then it starts raining. Then we take shelter. Then the my friend starts calling up the driver, and driver's like, I'm still stuck. And so
So, Shalini, if a young woman looked to you for wellness guidance, what would you tell her to start with?
a young woman, I honestly don't know what to say. I look at all these beautiful young girls, and they've done so much. It's really sad because all of them look the same. They almost have the same hair color, they dress the same way. And even even in terms of fillers or lip fillers, or it's really sad because they're losing their individuality. They're getting caught in this whole thing of looking a certain way, and it's all advertisement. Everything doesn't need to be editorial. Even I just feel that it's just too much. Everything is looking too micromanaged. Everything is too perfected. Uh, I mean, you're naturally beautiful when you're 20, when you're 16, when you're 22. You don't need to do anything. Um, and uh, I mean, I think
Would you
also lot
suggest?
of them drink, lot of them are
Mm.
into dieting. They would rather have a, so this is a trend, so they would rather have a drink than actually eat a meal. They're saying, okay, my 200 calories are coming in this glass, and which is really shocking to me, because that kind of thing is not sustainable. Because you'll be fine when you're 22, but as soon as you hit 26, 27, your body will not be able to take it. I have friends who used to do the same thing, who would say, okay, I'm having 2 glasses of red wine and I'm not eating, which is like, I don't know what to say. And now those are the same friends who come back to me asking, like, what should I do? How should I fix this?
And that's very disruptive for your
Yes.
gut health, for your weight,
Yes.
for skin health. So, I mean,
Yeah.
especially drinking excessively. And it's
So,
also
I
very
mean,
fat.
drinking and then saying that, I'm not going to eat a meal. I'm going to have 2 glasses of red wine or white wine. Then that's where I'm getting my calories from.
Right.
Alcohol, I think it dulls the senses, numbs the senses, and the next day you're a mess.
Mm.
I honestly don't believe that you need a substance to make you feel good.
Shalini, you're also hosting the upcoming MASH Ball in support of UNICEF. It's a beautiful blend of creativity and cause, and I'm really excited about it. And I missed your last one in 2023. So, can you tell me more about the one that's coming up now, this year?
So this year, the Mash Ball in support of UNICEF India is going to be in Bombay, because there was a lot of interest from everybody, especially in Bombay. This, like, why not Bombay? And all my friends are like, listen, we want to go to Bombay, so please have the ball in Bombay. And obviously, we wanted a new city, new energy. Last year, the theme of the Mash Ball, the theme was straight out of a painting. And this year it's fashion and films. So because we are in the city of dreams, city of cinema, and so I thought it's appropriate that the dress code be fashion and film. So everyone's very excited about it, and so many people are calling me, "What should I dress up? What should I wear?" And they're sending me ideas, and it's a lot of excitement. And but beyond the excitement, the funds that we raise from the ball are donated to UNICEF India. There's a village in Bihar, in Purnia district, where we send the funds for, and it's used for art-based therapy as well as other programs there. And I think my journey with UNICEF has been really enriching for me, especially personally. It's given me this new, this new interest in, the work that is being carried out, and especially it has given me a new meaning. It's given a new meaning to my life. And as you might know, my entire Netflix fee was donated to UNICEF. All my little acting things that I do, little ads that I do, all the funds are donated to UNICEF. And it's really, it's been quite a journey. And with an event like the Mash Ball, I hope to again get in more people involved. And even if they are not donating at the event or they are getting inspired by my journey, there have been so many people who have donated large amounts to UNICEF once the ball came out or when the ball was announced, because just the very fact that UNICEF has been in India since decades and it's doing great work, and it's been a real learning for me also to work with them.
That's fabulous. I really hope I can make it to that one.
I
You're
hope so
also,
too.
yeah, I mean, it sounds very, very exciting, and I'd be so happy to be part of such a great cause. And you're also working on a book right now with Penguin, which is very, very exciting as well. Can you give us a glimpse as to what inspired that and what readers can expect?
So, post when the series was released and everything, the quotes were going viral, and so a couple of publishing houses approached me, and Penguin was one of them. And then I decided to go with Penguin, and we are going to announce the title soon. And it's a self-help book. It's a small book, and I hope that it's going to be helpful to a lot of people, because post the series I was my DMs even now are flooded with queries and questions. And now there are people who say that I've been following your lifestyle or your diet, or the way of living, your Zen way of living, your philosophies in life. We want more, we want to hear more, we want to hear your stories. I've also been traveling all over India and Middle East, giving talks at various platforms like EO, YPO Gold, different platforms everywhere from Calcutta to Jaipur to Indore to UAE, speaking on platforms with large women audiences. And it's been very, very fruitful. So I thought, my first response to all the publishers who got in touch is like, I'm not a writer, I'm an artist. What am I going to write? What am I going to say? They're like, I said, and my English is very, very average, and it's just very basic. It's not. So they said, we don't want you to write in very. We just want you to write your ideas and like how you were on the show, all the pearls of wisdom. So that's what it is. The book is you know, about what I believe in, about things that have taken me forward, and things that I feel will be helpful to the younger generation or the Gen Zs or even people my age or people who are older. So it's pretty much like a self-help book, but very, very simple, because I feel that, things don't have to be very, very difficult for them to be effective.
Absolutely. So it's a short book that really everyone can read.
Short book, and I've been actually been working on it post can, and I went to Germany for a bit, and then I went to Lanzahof, then I came back to India and writing the book. And now with the editors, like they are like checking the book and stuff like that. So
Okay, that sounds great. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So please do send
thank
me a
you.
copy. So
Definitely, Manisha.
now we are going to move on to some quick fire tell me more questions. So,
Okay.
what is your one wellness ritual that you'd never skip?
One wellness ritual that I never skip is, of course, washing my face twice or thrice a day with my favorite face wash. And what is your wellness ritual?
So, my wellness ritual is actually to sleep early by 10 p.m. Your body follows an internal clock with a circadian rhythm. So, it's regulated by light and dark cycles. So, it's very important that you get the right hours of sleep so that your skin can regenerate. Autophagy is taking place. So, for me, it's really important to have good sleep. I love to sleep early.
That's
And
great.
my second question to you is, what's your favorite cuisine of all time?
My favorite cuisine, definitely, I love Chinese food and I love Indian food. So both.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
The third question, Shalini, what's your biggest food indulgence?
My biggest food indulgence is when I'm in London, I love the Cipriani vanilla meringue cake.
Oh, that is
And I
delicious.
love having that cake. It's like my favorite cake. And I love, when I'm in Italy, I love having gelato. Like I can
That-
have lots of it, like lots of it. Yeah.
And do you get any reactions to that when you have it? Because that's a lot of dairy.
Reactions, meaning in terms of the
And
reactions in the body?
digestive or any skin
N-
reactions? I'm just
No, no,
curious
no.
to know.
No, no skin reactions, but of course, it has but it's fine. We're walking around so much, and so there's this deal. I went to Venice, and I was eating like a lot of gelato, and my friend, and I've also like changed a lot of outfits in Venice. So my friend is like, you get 3 changes a day and 3 gelato breaks, and not more than that. So I'm like, but you are also having a drink. So she said, fine, deal. Each of us get I get 3 drinks, and you get 3 gelatos and 3 changes. No more than 3 changes of
Oh,
outfit,
wow.
and
I,
no more than three out gelatos stops, and she gets 3 drinks.
I hope you walked a lot
Yeah,
on
of
those
course. In
trips.
Venice, we tend to walk a lot. It's just beautiful. It's just the most stunning, beautiful city. You just walk and you get lost. Of course, now I know Venice like the back of my hand, so I can't get lost. But I would love to just get. It's just the most beautiful, magical city. It's like Banaras. For me,
Yeah,
Venice and Banaras are kind of you can you can lose yourself in those
it is a
beautiful.
beautiful city. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Okay, so my fourth question, one book or health mantra that has changed your life.
My grandmother gave me a book, and that book has stayed with me. It's just a very simple book. It's in Hindi, and it had just very basic things about what herb or spice to have when you have fever, what herb and spice to have when you have cold, and how to mix various herbs and spices for digestion or cold or cough. And I mean, basically, it has it's healing with herbs and with food. So it's a very, very simple book, and I used to read that when I was a kid, and I used to read it, and I used to experiment on myself and others. And that book for me, I think, is something which I would say has been life changing. Over the years, I have read so many concepts, so many interviews, and I feel that you there's no one thing that you can stick to. It's always a combination of so many things, and you have to make your own combination. And of course, you have to be very aware of your own how you're feeling. If you're eating something, how is it you're feeling? So your nutritionist or your dietitian is not going to tell you how you're feeling. You have to
Exactly.
see
Yeah.
how a certain food is making you feel, or how a certain exercise you're feeling after that, or a plan. So that mindfulness, like we talk about mindfulness, but people forget that when we eat food, how we feeling after that. If they were mindful, they would not drink. If they were mindful, they would not consume alcohol. If they were mindful, they probably not would watch less television, because that also interrupts your sleep, and the images flashing in front of your eyes with loud music, it affects your subconscious mind. So people are just, I think, I wish they would be more mindful, and then you would not need to go to so many doctors. Your body will tell you everything.
I agree. And I think my mantra is definitely you are what you eat because every cell in the body is built
Yeah,
from the nutrients you consume, right? The
absolutely.
food directly influences your energy,
Yeah,
your mood, your skin, immunity, how you age. So
yeah.
definitely, I think this book that you have, I think it's the traditional remedies that work the best.
Yes, yes, the traditional remedies, and yeah, yeah, it's a very old book. So
Okay. So what would you like your legacy to be?
what would I like my legacy to be? When you ask me that question, I want to get up and run away, because that's a lot of pressure.
That
and
is a lot of
I
pressure.
That is a lot of pressure, and I just I almost feel that with whatever I've been given, I've not done enough. And I just feel that all the time when people say that you've done this and you've done that. And I just feel that there's so much more that I need to do. And this legacy question is really asked I mean, I've been asked a lot this question, that what is your legacy? I mean, I just feel I'm just scratching the surface, and I just need my health, my mental state, and my physical body, and I need my friends and my family, and I need the entire world and the entire universe to support me if I have to leave a legacy, because that's a lot of work. And so for me, I just feel yeah, like I just get nervous when someone says, what is your legacy? Because as of now, I feel that don't have anything to.
Well, I think you've done so well, so far with the Mashbowl, the book, the show, and I think you're.
Yeah, but I can do much more. This I'm just doing, just like that. Like, I feel I can still do much more. This I'm just like faffing around and doing this, and I just did the reality. And, in the meantime, I was working on the foundation projects, I was working on the art project and the art fair. And I
Well, I
don't
think
know.
it's a great start. It's a great
Yeah,
start, and it's
I
going in a
think
brilliant, beautiful
I
direction.
hope that things, and not just a legacy. I think for me, it's more important that, people just like, I think that people forget that, that if that, people forget that, that goodness in this competitive world, that has to be protected. For me, if people can say she was a good person and she achieved so much, it's great, because most people lose their innocence, most people lose their beauty when they get into the real world and they have to achieve things. So I never want to lose my inner beauty. I never want to lose my innocence. I never want to lose the child in me. So for me, I think if I can keep all that and have a legacy, that would be something that would be so amazing. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. Shalini, thank you for your time, your truth,
Thank you, Manisha.
and for being here with us today. Your story
Thank
is a
you.
beautiful reminder that elegance and impact can come from stillness, from structure, and from lots and lots of self-belief.
Yes.
Thank you very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Chat
Bye.
soon. Bye, Manisha. Bye.
If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to follow and subscribe so you never miss an inspiring conversation that matters. And thank you to our sponsor, Skin Nutritional, for supporting today's episode. You can find the link to Skin Nutritional below. Until next time, take care of your body, honor your story, and remember to glow through your transformation.